We're at the center of everything.
Business is good.
Could be better.
Where'd you learn to hammer?
If you require any assistance.
Is this a youth serum? I've never seen alchemy this complex. Where did she get it?
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
If you want the wyvern's heart, you'll have to tell me what you're using it for.
I can do better, darling. Give me the heart, and I'll show you what it's for. Will that suffice?
All right. One heart, as requested.
How kind of you. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me. This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
Vivienne,
Yes, darling.
it's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Well, shit.
There's nothing here now.
Begin tomorrow. Well, you know...
Is there anything you need?
I want to talk to you about the cure for tranquility.
It's not a cure. Not truly. Mages who were once tranquil lose all control over their emotions. They become irrational, unable to focus. Perhaps that state eventually passes and they can be helped, but it will take time to investigate.
But you are going to look into it.
That is my intent. I would not want news of a cure to spread until we know for certain we can help these people. Once we have that, however, then I will spread the word myself.
So, you're a candidate for Divine now?
So I am informed.
Is that something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
The idea of power doesn't appeal to you.
Ah, yes. To be embroiled in politics and have every cleric jealous of me for the rest of my life. It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. To do that, it must change. I have never believed in asking another to do what you are unwilling to do yourself. So I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
I think you'd make an excellent choice.
Thank you. Let's hope the Chantry clerics agree.
Now.
Another time, then.
Inquisitor?
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not mages. I was a soldier, but women joined the ranks under a different program. When they found out I was passing, it got ugly. I ran, met Bull near the border, and ended up here. Not a life I'd wish on everyone, but it'll do.
What's Tevinter like for a citizen? Someone who isn't a slave or a mage?
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the Imperial slaves drove him under.
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project to prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? You get Imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
It's difficult to compete with someone who doesn't get paid.
That's Tevinter. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was or wasn't in my pants, he made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
I'm surprised you escaped from the Tevinter Imperium so easily.
It's not like I lived in Minrathous. I was in Trevis, not far from the Navarran border. It helped that I was being chased as a deserter, not a runaway slave. Slave hunters only get paid for what they catch. They're efficient bastards.
It's against the law to pass as a man.
It's a crime to lie on an Imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery. For 10 silvers, the healer said he'd tell the Tribune I was sick in the head. Some pity for the mad little girl. That was when I hit him. I'd served for a few years. I was good at hitting.
Why did you decide to live as a man?
I didn't decide anything. I've been like this my whole life. My parents wanted me to marry up. They tried to find me a nice merchant's son. Every day, put on a dress, look into my father's shaving mirror, and just hate myself.
If you had the chance to use magic, would you change all the way?
What? No. I don't want any magic like that within 10 yards of my body. When I was younger... I don't know. Everyone has silly dreams. And Tevinter, dreams like that get you killed. Bull helped me make a good life. Nice armor and a well-placed sock, and I'm happy.
How did your family react when you started?
My mother wanted to throw me out. She said if I didn't marry well, I was dooming the family to slavery. She was happy to take the money I set as a soldier, though. Not that it mattered in the end. My father. When I was little, he'd angle his mirror down so I could pretend to shave, just like him. He never said anything, but I think he knew.
We'll talk later.
Inquisitor.
Is there anything we can do? Just ask.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
What did I tell you? Thank you.
One for the Empress. For Gaspar. Brianna. The Duchess. And Caritas. Right in the dangle bag.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
And that would accomplish what exactly?
Stinging around the face and neck? Can't assassinate Empresses if your eyes swell shut. I don't know. But I'm just trying to get this junk out of my head. These people, they're the worst. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that mess? The one thing. Don't sleep with Empresses. That's what that was all about. That, and Briala being an idiot. The whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
We'll make good use.
Ready for waiting.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Good day.
It's good to see you.
Could be better.
That Corypheus, he's a snake. The Conclave, Avon, Hallam.
The war in Orlais has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit. Finally, a place for... the horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
Inquisitor.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your hand. Perfect mental image. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you'd like to do more often, then?
Watch as you twist an entire empire around your little finger. Yes, please. Of course, that leaves only Tevinter. And it wouldn't work as well there.
No. Why not?
Our dances are so much more intense. If an evening lacks a murder, we sniff and call it a ball. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
I should go.
Naturally. Fancy meeting you here.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
Have we smuggled the other memory crystal into Calpurnia's camp? We have. Here.
Even honey can't sweeten philandris. I'll keep trying. You are no slave, Linnea. I'll add another spoonful myself, later.
Calpurnia seems to be treating her new acolytes kindly.
While I found that interesting, this is what you must hear.
Master, forgive me. I didn't expect.
The time for your ascension nears. Tell me of your preparation.
They go well enough, although I'm distracted here. If I could train at the shrine.
Only Dumot's faithful may enter. Continue as before. Or would you see the Imperium's rebirth stalled by your lack of focus?
I will be ready, as the vessel, and Tevinter's champion.
Just how much training does becoming the vessel involve?
Another deflection. Why, a dwarven bauble, as if mine was miraculously returned to me. Let's give your new owner a glimpse of her fate. Venatori, we leave.
That is all the crystal recorded before she found it. But I think it may be enough. A shrine to Dumat, Corypheus said. Where Calpurnia is forbidden to go.
Who is this Dumat that Corypheus mentioned?
An old god, worshipped in ancient Tevinter as the Dragon of Silence. He was the first to rise as an archdemon and bring the blight. Truly a god fit for Corypheus.
I'd bet Corypheus has something in that shrine he doesn't want Calpurnia to see.
I agree. There is much to gain here. Whatever Corypheus hides from his trusted lieutenant should be illuminating. Let us investigate this shrine. Carefully. I doubt Corypheus has left it unguarded. So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Why does the Divine need a successor? Who cares if her throne is empty?
If there's no Divine, there is no Chantry. Perhaps that is your wish. The Chantry has not been kind to mages. I don't blame you for thinking as you do. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
It was the Chantry that taught people hate and fear.
If the Chantry led them to this place, it can lead them out of it. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new Divine will be the least of our problems. You've joined a fellowship with a distinguished history. Knight enchanters have long served the Divine.
Alas, we are lacking one at the moment.
Indeed.
Sorry.
It's all right. I was thinking it, even as you said it. No matter, you have chosen well, and are in good company. I had friends who were knight enchanters, who served at Justinia's side, who died with her. It's good to see new mages keeping this flame alive.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, And on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
What do you know of Morrigan?
She's changed. She used to be so disagreeable, cruel. She said things just to hurt people. Now the sharp edges have worn away. Perhaps it was Kieran. He seems so normal, like any other little boy. And so polite. Not that I was expecting anything else. I mean, never mind.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
Strangest things, Inquisitor. Interesting altogether.
It's good to know we're doing something worthwhile.
Those who bear false witness and work.
You're the Inquisitor. Mother never told me the Inquisitor was a mage.
If you can sense magic, don't ever become a Templar.
I can't. The lyrium gives me terrible nightmares.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on her hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
I have raised Kieran on my own for quite some time now, as was my preference from the start. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
We were lucky to have found it when we did.
Fate is often mistaken for luck, as Mother is fond of saying. The magic in this place has seeped into the stones.
protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may. Wandering the gardens, I see.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. Leniana has built a network of spies beyond anything Thedas has seen. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
We have to defeat him first. Then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what draws my attention. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade, in fact, came from the orb. Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
I could use your company for my excursions outside Skyhold.
I have spent my share of time wandering the wilderness in the company of others, Inquisitor. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to researching the arcane.
Do you know anything about his dragon?
It has the appearance of an archdemon. Of that, I am certain. A true archdemon, however, is supposedly the corrupted form of an old god. Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? If so, why has a new blight not begun? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted nature as well as his magic. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Is it even possible that Corypheus could succeed?
The Black City exists. Wherever one goes in the Fade, it is visible in the sky. The last time Corypheus and his cohort stormed its doors, they unleashed the Blight upon the world. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power, becoming something unto a god. It is also possible he could unleash something far worse than the Blights. So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal. If not, his attempt alone could destroy the world.
Corypheus says I'm a rival. Does that mean...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
No, never.
Tell Corypheus that, and see if he believes you.
We know so little about Corypheus.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet learn from it.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate. living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kakari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
In court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kokari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. She is the reason the Blight was defeated. I wish things had gone differently in the end. It had to be, yet. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course.
For you are the fire at the heart of the world, and come only
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
You've gathered quite a collection. Wonder how many are in the set.
Inquisitor. At your service.
Inquisitor.
captain sent back sketches of the walls. Our experts say they look elven.
Interesting. Does Corypheus send scholars to find something the elves buried? Or something buried with them?
Maker have mercy.
It's Taven's party.
Most were unarmed. They didn't stand a chance.
There should be Inquisition soldiers here. These are our men. them. Maybe we can figure out what they were after. Corypheus's men had part of a seal. Do they even know what it opens?
Whatever it is, it wasn't worth killing those elves.
The Emerald Knights. They once patrolled the borders of the Dales, protecting the elven people. The Dalish saw them as romantic heroes. The Chantry called them ruthless butchers. I suspect both sides have some element of truth.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
I believe I sense one of the artifacts of my people. The wards are working.
this is it. Whatever Taven hoped to find, it's here. It's an account of Red Crossing. When the elves attacked that town, it prompted the exalted march of the Dales.
Taven would want the Dalish to have this.
The Chantry would no doubt be interested in the account as well.
where does Corypheus find all these fanatics?
These are our men. Come again, friend.
You have proven yourself to be an ally of the Dalish, friend. If Lorinel still wishes to join you, he has my blessing.
I found something about Red Crossing in Danan Hanin.
If you went to the Emerald Graves, did you see Tavin and the others?
They were killed. I'm sorry.
I am too. Sorry, but not surprised. Thank you for bringing this to me. It is part of our tale. It will be cherished. May your gods watch over you, friend.
Inquisitor?
Let's see what we have.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, the workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
From your tone, I'd guess Orzammar isn't your favorite place.
I don't have an opinion. Cloud gazers like me aren't allowed in the city. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King, really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
Always wondered if I'd die down here.
You're not dead yet.
The day's just starting.
Dwarves cannot dream, yet they devise the most fascinating inventions.
Not all ideas come from the Fade.
True, but these designs must be inspired by something.
Korut, Magirl, Navrik, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaperit welcomes you to the Deep Roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause and celebrate their own funerals before entering the Deep Roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp. Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
An ogre!
Stay clear of its reach!
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack! Right now! focused on us! Now's the time to attack! Now, while it's distracted! Strike now!
You have my gratitude.
Stay on your guard.
If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry. I will never get used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels!
crime the thought accuses!
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Clear out the darkspawn!
On their heels. Keep it up! The seal's clear! Prime the charges!
Now! Set the charges!
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
We can't give the Darkspawn a chance to regroup. Let's hit them again before they mount another attack.
Normally, that would be the plan. But there is a complication.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes. The rhythm in the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
If something is causing them, the strength required would be incredible. What could do that?
Here we go.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity. But now? The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense, and Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
A mystery worth investigating. 'Cause, 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 'cause
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
So it's true. The king involved a circus.
We've lost so many. The Inquisitor's a welcome sight.
The Legion can handle Darkspawn. It's what we're born for. What we die for.
And the tremors? Don't be stone-blind, Yakar. This is beyond the Legion.
I've been meaning to ask, Inquisitor. Skyhold, how does it... well... hold in the sky?
The old fall into the sky routine.
How do you keep it from floating away?
It's built into a mountain.
Held by the stone, then.
Shaper Volta said you're a veteran of the Blight.
I was a wet-nosed recruit.
But you survived.
Swing your axe long enough, you're bound to hit something.
You must have racked up a few stories.
Maybe when this is all over, I'll have the time and ale to tell them.
Most of Ren's stories end with decapitation.
I'm an efficient guy.
I'd like to know more about the Legion of the Dead.
The Legion's pretty straightforward. We keep the Darkspawn out of Orzammar, and we're sodding good at it. Becoming a Legionnaire is a lifelong oath, one that can't be broken. We celebrate our own funerals before coming to the Deep Roads. As far as our families in Orzammar are concerned, we're already dead. Hence the name.
That's quite the commitment.
It isn't a glamorous life. Every Legionnaire has their own reasons for joining. From the common criminal to the deep lord with illusions of grandeur. All are accepted.
What about you? Why did you join?
I had a responsibility.
A historian and a soldier. That's an unlikely friendship.
What makes you think we're friends?
The bickering.
Fair enough. Volta's got the stones of a silent sister. Doesn't mean I won't give her a hard time.
Thanks for your time.
The Inquisition is on everyone's lips. Even the Assembly has taken an interest. I'm told King Balin wished to meet you personally, but the Deshers talked him down. The earthquakes present too great a risk. When the previous king died, Orzammar nearly fell apart.
How does one become a shaper of memories?
I was born with a keen stone sense. It caught the Shaper's attention, but my passion for history earned me the title. It was never really a choice.
You seem quite excited by the idea that these titans may exist.
My connection to the stone allows me to hear it, but I can only listen. Titans can sing through the stone. It is extraordinary. We call ourselves children of the stone. What does that make the titans?
What's life like in Orzammar?
I haven't lived in Orzammar for 3 years, but I receive updates. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know?
miss living there?
I do sometimes. Particularly the easy access to a warm bath and clean clothes. But the importance of my work outweighs the comforts of the city.
How's the political climate in Orzammar?
There have been riots due to food shortages, but they will pass, I hope. I've no doubt some Deshers will try to use the situation for their own gain. But the king has a good hold over the assembly.
What are Deshers?
Members of the assembly, all noble-born. Through the assembly, they govern Orzammar. The king presides over them.
A dwarf's caste seems to dictate their entire life in Orzammar.
I could bore you for hours about our society's castes and the tensions that go along with them. Simply put, citizens of Orzammar are born into a caste, and that is their lot in life. A member of the Smith caste can never join the warrior caste, and vice versa. Everything is predetermined.
There's no way for someone to change castes.
It is possible for a member of the lower caste to marry above their station, but only their children's caste will improve. Similarly, when dwarves are made casteless, so are their descendants.
A dwarf's caste seems to dictate their entire life in Orzammar.
I could bore you for hours about our society's castes and the tensions that go along with them. Simply put, citizens of Orzammar are born into a caste, and that is their lot in life. A member of the Smith caste can never join the warrior caste, and vice versa. Everything is predetermined.
There's no way for someone to change castes.
It is possible for a member of the lower caste to marry above their station, but only their children's caste will improve. Similarly, when dwarves are made casteless, so are their descendants.
A dwarf's caste seems to dictate their entire life in Orzammar.
I could bore you for hours about our society's castes and the tensions that go along with them. Simply put, citizens of Orzammar are born into a caste, and that is their lot in life. A member of the Smith caste can never join the warrior caste, and vice versa. Everything is predetermined.
We'll speak another time.